The audience that's still outside the auditorium, please proceed to the auditorium and please take the front seat. The audience that's still outside the auditorium, please come to the auditorium and please take the front seat.
For many years, Universitas Indonesia has been recognized as a world-leading and globally respected research university. Universitas Indonesia continues to pursue the highest achievements in terms of innovation, development, and novelty in science. Universitas Indonesia has 3 study clusters with 14 faculties, 2 postgraduate programs, and a vocational education program. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to early 2022, Universitas Indonesia has established a health-promoting university program that enables student involvement in controlling and promoting health to their cohorts. Universitas Indonesia has succeeded in becoming the best campus in Indonesia and keeps pushing itself constantly to be in the high rankings of world universities. In addition, Universitas Indonesia has conducted research collaborations with many institutions, foreign partners, and universities. In 2021, more than 2,000 Universitas Indonesia students participated in student exchange programs abroad, as well as more than 1,000 inbound students studying at Universitas Indonesia. Not only students, but lecturers also go on inbound and outbound teaching visits. More than 800 lecturers teach at other campuses abroad.
Universitas Indonesia actively collaborates with many world-renowned universities and several education and research associations,
as well as collaborations with faculty networks.
To get higher chance for you to win the competitions, you must develop your own personal capabilities beyond your academic qualifications.
Being a UI graduate brings a lot of opportunities for me since I was shaped by great lecturers, friends, seniors, and organizational experiences, both academically and socially, which I'm really thankful for.
Green Metric, one of Universitas Indonesia's innovations that has been widely recognized internationally as the world's first university ranking based on a high commitment to manage the campus environment.
Universitas Indonesia needs to build constructive interactions between departments based on the principles of togetherness, transparency, accountability, responsibility, independence, and fairness. Come up with a solution. University of Indonesia academics who come from different fields of study seek solutions through various research materials, research and creative innovation, until we find a solution to make an impact on society. We have built a startup culture over the past few years that inspires academics to have a problem-solving approach.
And for more than a decade, we have been working hand in hand with government, state-owned enterprises, and private enterprises in empowering small medium-scale business sector and entrepreneurship development as a part of sustainable development goal.
We learn, we do research,
We innovate,
and now we are transforming.
Universitas Indonesia, towards an entrepreneurial university.
Halo UI dan Indonesia. Saat ini, Universitas Indonesia sedang melakukan Employer Study. Employer Study Universitas Indonesia atau yang biasa disebut dengan ESUI Yang keempat, pengembangan kurikulum. Populasi yang menjadi target dari ESUI adalah perusahaan yang mempekerjakan alumni UI. Oleh karena itu, apabila Bapak Ibu menerima email ESUI, kami memohon kerjasamanya untuk mengisi survei tersebut. Jawaban dari Bapak Ibu sangat bermanfaat bagi evaluasi pendidikan di Universitas Indonesia. Terima kasih.
Hai, saya dengan Gerard Martin Tema, Executive Talent Acquisition Head Sinarmas Mining Group. Terima kasih kepada pihak Universitas Indonesia yang telah mengundang kami di acara Employers Gathering tahun 2023 ini. Tahun 2022 kemarin, kami dari Sinarmas Mining Group meng-hire sekitar 22 orang lulusan Universitas Indonesia atau total 10% dari jumlah development program yang kami hire, dan Universitas Indonesia menempati urutan kedua dalam universitas yang banyak lulusannya yang kami hire di tahun 2022 kemarin. Saya berharap bukan hanya 10%, tetapi juga lebih meningkat lagi di tahun 2023. Sampai saat ini lulusan Universitas Indonesia mempunyai dua hal yang menurut saya menjadi winning attitude-nya ya. Yang pertama adalah proaktif. Mereka sangat proaktif, dan kedua, mereka mempunyai wawasan yang lebih luas dibandingkan dengan rekan-rekannya yang lain. Semoga tahun 2023 ini semakin banyak lulusan Universitas Indonesia yang memilih berkarir di Sinarmas Mining Group. Dan kami berharap kerjasama bisa lebih ditingkatkan lagi. Terima kasih.
Selamat datang di Universitas Indonesia.
Welcome to Universitas Indonesia.
Sesuai dengan persyaratan K3L yang berlaku di Universitas Indonesia, kami dari UPT Keselamatan, Kesehatan Kerja, dan Lingkungan akan menyampaikan induksi keselamatan.
Based on safety regulation in Universitas Indonesia, we are from Occupational Safety, Health and Environmental Unit would like to deliver safety, health and environmental induction.
Saat ini kita berada di Gedung Art and Culture Universitas Indonesia.
Now we are in Art and Culture Building Universitas Indonesia.
Terdapat dua pintu utama di Gedung Art and Culture Universitas Indonesia.
There are two main entrances in Art and Culture Building Universitas Indonesia.
Terdapat dua potensi keadaan darurat yang mungkin dapat terjadi: kebakaran dan gempa bumi.
There are two emergency conditions which may occur: fire, earthquake.
Jika terjadi kebakaran, harap tenang dan jangan panik. Karena gedung ini dilengkapi dengan alat detektor asap, sprinkler, hidran, dan alat pemadam api ringan atau APAR. Segera informasikan lokasi sumber api kepada petugas kami.
In case of fire, please be calm and do not panic because this building is equipped with sprinkler, hydrant, fire extinguishers, and smoke detector. Immediately inform our officer for fire location.
Jika terlatih untuk memadamkan api, lakukan pemadaman dengan menggunakan APAR.
And if you are trained to extinguish fire, please do so.
Segera lakukan evakuasi, ikuti lampu darurat yang tersedia pada tangga, dan pergilah menuju ke titik berkumpul.
Evacuate immediately, follow the emergency lights which provided on the stairs, and go to the assembly point.
Jika terjadi gempa bumi, lakukan metode drop, cover, and hold on. Jatuhkan badan Anda, lindungi kepala dengan tangan, dan berlindunglah di bawah kursi atau meja. Hindari area kaca dan benda menggantung.
In case of earthquake, do drop, cover, and hold on method. Protect your head by your hand, cover your head below the table or chair, and hold on until condition is safe. Avoid window glasses and hanging objects.
Jika guncangan reda, segera lakukan evakuasi melalui pintu darurat. Petugas akan memandu ke titik berkumpul yang berada di depan dan belakang gedung ini.
When the earthquake has ceased, evacuate through emergency door and follow our officer to the assembly point which is located in front of this building and behind this building.
Hendaknya selalu berhati-hati saat melangkah dan selalu gunakan pegangan tangga saat menaiki atau menuruni tangga.
Please be careful when you step on the stairs and always use handrails.
Berdasarkan keputusan Rektor nomor 1805 /SK/R/UI/2011, Universitas Indonesia merupakan kawasan tanpa asap rokok.
Based on Rector Decree, Universitas Indonesia is a smoke-free area.
Jagalah kebersihan dan buang sampah di tempat yang telah disediakan.
Please protect clean university's environment and place the rubbish in the rubbish bin.
Terima kasih atas perhatian Anda dan selamat beraktivitas.
Thank you for your attention and have a good day.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Shalom, Namo Buddhaya. The Honorable Board of Trustees, Academic Senate, and Professor Council, the Honorable Vice Rector for Human Resources and Asset, Professor Dr. Insinyur Dedi Priyadi, DEA, the Honorable Secretary of Universitas Indonesia, Dr. Agustin Kusumayati, MSc, PhD, the Honorable Vice Rector for Academic and Student Affairs, Professor Doctor of Natural Science, Abdul Haris, and the Honorable Vice Rector for Research and Innovation, Dr. Nurtami, PhD. Honorable Deans, Consular, Embassy Representatives, and Corporate Representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Employers Forum and Partnership Gathering. I am Raihana, the Master of Ceremony for this event. On behalf of the organizing committee, we extend our appreciation for your presence this morning. The Employer Forum Partnership Gathering is a program facilitated by Directorate for Career Development and Alumni Relations to accommodate deeper acquaintance and better understanding of current dynamics in the relationship between higher education and the world of work. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our agenda is divided into three main segments. The first one is the opening and keynote speech, and followed by presentations on world university rankings. And the last one is the talk show segment. So, ladies and gentlemen, to start our program, we'll begin with the reciting of the Republic of Indonesia National Anthem, Lagu Kebangsaan Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Audience, please have a seat. Without further ado, let us now start our program by welcoming the Vice Rector for Human Resources and Asset to deliver his opening remarks. Representing Director of Universitas Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Insinyur Dedi Priyadi, DEA.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Good morning everybody. Board of Trustee, Academic Senate, Professor Council, Secretary to University, Vice Rectors, Directors, Dean, Representative for Ministry of Manpower, Counselor, Embassy Representative, and Corporate Representative. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to our campus. We thank you for your coming to our very first UI Employer Forum. This event is indeed very special to us as our key stakeholders are present today. The government, including state agencies, public and private, national and multinational corporations. Let me start by acknowledging that the world of work is undergoing a shift where there is a trend toward remote working, digital transformation, and more flexibility and opportunities for learning and career development. As technology advances and new digital tools become available, business have the opportunity to break away from traditional work models and create a more agile, collaborative, and productive environment. In this regard, university should prepare for the changing needs of the workplace by focusing on the development of versatile, transferable skills. This includes the ability to work in team, written and oral communication, critical thinking, problem solving, digital literacy, and adapting to changing technology. Additionally, universities should emphasize diversity and inclusion in the workplace, providing students with the opportunity to build awareness and understanding of different cultures and backgrounds. They should also create learning and professional development opportunities to help students develop the skills that employers are increasingly seeking, such as leadership, project management, and public speaking. University should ensure students understand the importance of lifelong learning, helping them to become lifelong learners that can actively seek out new and innovative skills. In short, preparing your generation to master global skills requires a comprehensive approach. We are challenged to integrate our local capacity to the international context and vice versa. Understanding the intercultural and global dimension are vital to the success of upscaling of our students' learning experiences. As educators, we have been working on providing global learning environment for our students by sending them to internship at multiple companies, national and multinational, student exchange abroad, and many other student development programs. In this regard, Indonesia government through the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology also provide platform, essentially to create future-proof talent by equipping them with the necessary and relevant skills that help them to thrive after graduation. In another aspect, universities are increasingly become more connected to employers through a number of strategies. Universities are connecting with employers through job fair, on-campus recruitment event, career guidance program, alumni network, and co-op programs. They are also utilizing digital tools such as social media, online job boards, and corporate websites to connect with employers. Additionally, universities are also hosting virtual events and workshops in order to engage with employers and students. Employer satisfaction and university reputation among employers are becoming more and more important indicators of the success of university. Learning outcomes are reflected through the success of alumni in the world of the work and beyond. Universitas Indonesia Employee Forum aim at providing platform for employers and university to better engage in supporting conducive environment for dialogue and better alignment for a better future with benefit all. By inviting you all, we hope to have more collaborators in preparing our young generation to be competent and ready for the competitive world. Once again, thank you very much for your time and contribution. We are looking forward to have a productive discussion with you all. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Didi Priyadi, for the very insightful speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to invite the keynote speaker for today. The speech is going to be delivered by Muhammad Yusuf ST, MSE, Chief Labor of Market, the Ministry of Manpower. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcoming Mr. Muhammad Yusuf ST, MSE.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang saya hormati Bapak Wakil Rektor UI Bidang SDM dan Aset, Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Didi Priyadi DA. Yang saya hormati Bapak Wakil Rektor UI Bidang Akademik dan Kemahasiswaan, Bapak Prof. Dr. Renat Abdul Haris. Yang saya juga hormati Bapak Wakil Rektor Bidang Riset dan Inovasi, Ibu, kemudian Bapak Ibu Senat Universitas, Sekretaris Universitas Ibu Agustin Kusumayati, perwakilan negara sahabat, kemudian yang terhormat juga Direktur Pengembangan Karir, Lulusan dan Hubungan Alumni Universitas Indonesia. Yang terhormat Bapak Ibu dari perusahaan, instansi, dan institusi mitra Universitas Indonesia dan peserta kegiatan Employer Forum Partnership Catering yang berbahagia. Allow me to speak bahasa for this event. Yang pertama, saya menyampaikan permintaan maaf dari Ibu Menteri Ketenagakerjaan Republik Indonesia, begitu juga dengan Bapak Sekjen, Bapak Profesor Dr. Anwar Sanusi, yang pada saat ini sedang berada di luar negeri. Begitu juga dengan permintaan maaf juga disampaikan oleh Bapak Wakil Menteri Ketenagakerjaan, Bapak Afrian Syahnur, yang juga sedang ada kunjungan kerja ke luar kota, sehingga mewakili kesempatan ini sehingga pada hari ini saya mewakili beliau semua untuk memberikan sambutan pada acara Employer Catering di Universitas Indonesia. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin, kita panjatkan kepada Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena pada pagi hari ini kita semua bisa hadir dalam kondisi sehat dan bugar, ya. Dan kami dari Kementerian Ketenagakerjaan menganggap pagi ini adalah kegiatan yang sangat penting buat kita semua untuk mewujudkan link and match antara dunia pendidikan dengan dunia industri melalui sinergitas dan kolaborasi. Hadirin dan peserta yang berbahagia, hasil survei Angkatan Kerja atau Nasional atau Sakernas dari Badan Pusat Statistik periode Agustus 2022 menunjukkan jumlah angkatan kerja kita 143,72 juta, di mana 68,63%-nya di mana tingkat partisipasi angkatan kerja itu sebesar 68,63%, dan ini didominasi oleh generasi milenial dan generasi zilenial. Pemerintah telah membuat berbagai kebijakan dan insentif untuk bisa memastikan bahwa sumber daya manusia ini bisa didayagunakan secara optimal, sehingga Indonesia benar-benar bisa mendapatkan bonus demografi dan menggapai Indonesia Emas 2045. Kementerian Ketenagakerjaan saat ini tengah fokus untuk melakukan langkah-langkah strategis, transformatif, dan inovatif untuk menghadapi masalah dan tantangan transformasi ketenagakerjaan sebagai efek revolusi industri 4.0 dan pandemi COVID-19. Melalui yang kita gaungkan sebagai 9 lompatan besar Kementerian Ketenagakerjaan, yaitu yang pertama transformasi balai latihan kerja. Kita ingin balai latihan kerja yang saat ini ada 21 di seluruh Indonesia itu berubah image-nya, tidak lagi menjadi tempat yang pelatihan yang biasa-biasa saja, tetapi tempat pelatihan yang modern. Kita juga merebranding namanya dari dulunya BLK sekarang menjadi Balai Latihan Kerja, Vokasi dan Produktivitas. Kemudian yang kedua, lompatan kedua adalah link and match ketenagakerjaan, di mana kita membangun dan juga berkolaborasi dengan banyak pihak untuk membuat skema-skema link and match tadi. Kemudian yang ketiga ada transformasi program perluasan kesempatan kerja. Program ini difokuskan untuk memberikan akses dan pelatihan bagi generasi muda atau talent-talent muda untuk berwirausaha. Kemudian lompatan yang keempat adalah pengembangan talenta muda. Pengembangan talenta muda ini fokus kepada pengembangan talenta digital dan juga future work seperti adanya green job. Kemudian pengembangan perluasan pasar kerja luar negeri. Kita tahu bahwa Indonesia saat ini adalah sending countries dan sampai saat ini banyak sekali terus berdatangan dari berbagai penjuru dunia meminta talent-talent kita, meminta tenaga kerja dari Indonesia. Dan ini masih belum semua bisa kita penuhi. Kemudian yang lompatan ke-6 adalah visi baru hubungan industrial. Yang ke-7 reformasi pengawasan ketenagakerjaan, dan yang ke-8 adalah pengembangan ekosistem digital ketenagakerjaan. Ya, ini juga kami serius di pengembangan digital ini karena nantinya kita ingin memfasilitasi semua layanan ketenagakerjaan ini bisa diakses dengan mudah oleh seluruh masyarakat di seluruh Indonesia. Kemudian tentu itu semua harus dikawal dengan lompatan ke-9 yaitu reformasi birokrasi. Dari 9 lompatan tersebut ada 2 lompatan yaitu link and match ketenagakerjaan dan lompatan ekosistem digital ketenagakerjaan diharapkan dapat menjawab tantangan-tantangan pasar kerja dengan mewujudkan sistem informasi pasar kerja nasional yang terintegrasi. Hadirin dan peserta yang saya banggakan, setidaknya ada 3 faktor yang menjadi tantangan dan telah mempengaruhi perubahan-perubahan di pasar kerja nasional maupun global saat ini. Yaitu yang pertama, perubahan teknologi yang sedang mengarah dari 4.0 ke 5.0. Ini menyebabkan hilangnya banyak pekerjaan dan sekaligus juga kita melihat tumbuhnya banyak pekerjaan baru. Yang kedua, perubahan pola kerja sebagai dampak pandemi COVID-19 menyebabkan makin banyak pilihan cara kerja, mulai dari work from home, work from office, work from anywhere, ya, kemudian ada nomad workers, freelance, dan gig economy. Kemudian juga yang ketiga, perubahan demografi yang menyebabkan arus migrasi pekerja di seluruh dunia ini juga meningkat. Hal ini telah merubah pola dan atau pakem di pasar kerja nasional dan global. Dan sebagai konsekuensinya, ini mendorong pencari kerja dan pemberi kerja melakukan penyesuaian terhadap pola kerja dan pola hubungan kerja yang ada saat ini. Salah satu konsekuensi akibat perubahan teknologi dihadapi oleh pencari kerja maupun pemberi kerja, yaitu terjadinya skill gap yang makin besar dari waktu ke waktu. Perusahaan tidak mudah mendapatkan calon pekerja dengan skill yang dibutuhkan, begitu juga calon pekerja sulit mendapatkan skill tersebut di lembaga-lembaga pelatihan maupun lembaga pendidikan. Pencari kerja terutama Gen Z ya, memiliki preferensi yang unik yang berbeda dengan generasi-generasi sebelumnya. Hasil survei, ini saya kutip dari Indonesian Millennial Report 2022 dan juga Indonesian Gen Z Report 2022 dari IDN Research Institute dan juga Asian Policy Brief dari BRIN menyatakan bahwa generasi ini lebih pemilih ya untuk masuk ke pasar kerja. Preferensi terkait gaji, waktu kerja, kesesuaian dengan minat, kondisi K3 di perusahaan, serta adanya jenjang karir menjadi pertimbangan-pertimbangan utama. Bapak dan Ibu serta hadirin yang saya hormati, dengan kondisi di atas, skema kerjasama kemitraan antara perguruan tinggi dengan pemberi kerja untuk mendapatkan talent-talent terbaik menemukan momentumnya saat ini. Jadikan perusahaan atau instansi Bapak dan Ibu semua menjadi cinta pertama dari adik-adik fresh graduate, di mana mereka bisa mendapatkan kesempatan, skill, dan pengalaman baru, serta dapat berkarir mengembangkan perusahaan. Dialog antara perusahaan dengan mahasiswa perlu lebih kerap dilakukan. Demikian yang dapat saya sampaikan, semoga dapat bermanfaat bagi kita semua. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bapak Muhammad Yusuf. Bapak Muhammad Yusuf, please remain on stage. And I would like to invite Professor Dedi Priyadi to give the token of appreciation to Bapak Muhammad Yusuf. Thank you, Professor Dedi Priyadi. Please have a seat. And also, thank you to Bapak Muhammad Yusuf for the very insightful speech and very informative. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take a photo session together. So, the photographer and organizing committee, please help the delegates ready. Dan boleh diisi ruang tengahnya untuk sesi foto bersama. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You may have a seat. So moving on, the next program, we are presenting to you a cultural performance by Liga Tari UI. A traditional dance called Tari Burung Hong. It tells a story of the gracefulness of Hong bird. It also symbolizes abundance, balance, and happiness. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Liga Tari UI. for the beautiful performance. So everybody please give applause once more for Liga Tari UI. So for the next session, we're going to have a few presentations to kick off our agenda. And the first presentation is going to be delivered by Vice Rector for Academic and Student Affairs, Universitas Indonesia. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Doctor of Natural Science, Abdul Haris.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all our colleagues. Special guests coming from the embassy, the representative from embassy, our colleague coming from the Ministry of Work and Power, Pak Yusuf, the member of Board of Trustee, Prof. Reddy, Chairman of Academic Senate, Prof. Nahrawi, and also our colleague, the Dean from the faculty. So many Dean have already come here. I think this will be a very special moment because there is any college, what we call this A10, after 10, that will be coming. Thank you. But right now we are still on 8 o'clock. And also our partner, international partnership, and also coming the industry, the representative industry, and all our colleagues from Universitas Indonesia. In this occasion, also, sorry, our colleagues, the Vice Rector, Research and Innovation, Putami, the Secretary to University, Bu Agustin, and also the Director of Alumni Directorate, and also all our staff from Universitas Indonesia. This morning, I'm the person who in charge in the academic and student affairs. And in this occasion, we would like to share in brief, what we propose in UI International Outreach. When we take a look at the title, it should be delivered by the international office. But right now we try because the subject coming from the academic. And please to the next slide. Here we would like to little bit introduce to all our audience that this is the first fact. We would like to show the Universitas Indonesia in number. When we take a look at the student body, we have around 36,000. And also we have around 1,600 international students. And we are very active in what we call is emancipated learning, Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka. More than 200 students we deliver to overseas. This is, I think, will be our pride because Universitas Indonesia take more than 20% of the quota they deliver coming from the governments. There's only 1,000 seats and 200 coming from the Universitas Indonesia that's already going overseas. So we should thank to all the dean coming from faculties because so many students coming from Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economic and Business, and also this is one of our key performance index that cascade to all the dean. So we really encourage the dean to push their students to really active and participate in this, what we call is ISMA program. Thank you for the dean. And also, when we take a look at the graduate employability ranking, we try to improve our performance. And right now we are in position 200 and 300. And also, we just got the news from, I think, in the end of the last year, our rank in the Asia University ranking, US Asia University, we are already settled in position 49. I think there is a little bit leap going up more than 10 steps. And also that will be pride, we are in the position 18 from the World Impact Ranking, because we pride, because this is will be our fundamental in doing our strategy in leveraging our rank in the world. And also we really concern and commit our quality assurance. We really focus on all our study program. Right now we have more than 250 study program, and we always push all the study programs should be accredited by the international accreditation body. And right now we try to increase the number of the study program will be internationally accredited. And for example, there is so many partners coming from the accreditation body. And I think this is our first and fact that we would like to continuously improve our quality in our performance in the global. And this next for the next slide. And this is our dream. When we take a look at, for example, the transformation, the university coming from the teaching university, going to the research university, and the ambition to be entrepreneurial university. And right now we still in doing looping, because we always go and come back to the teaching and research university. Because right now, when we ask the faculty member how many duty for your teaching, I think most of our faculty member very tight for doing in teaching. So that's why we try to push going to the research university, and this is, I think, to be QS top 100, we should shift to the entrepreneurial university. And so many activities and ideas that should be performed by all our faculty members in terms of we have to manage reputation, we have to be engaged in globally, and also we have to have the quality in higher resources, human resources, and also we really focus on sustainability. And because there is any concern coming from the committee, so please to the next slide. And this is our framework in terms of international collaborations. We really engage all our faculty members and also our students and also our researchers to be become international and internally become the duty of our member of Universitas Indonesia. And this is the platform of our collaboration, what we call is Sustainable Development Goals. And we put on what kind of activities coming from the education, research, entrepreneurship, and community engagement. Next. And we can skip this next. And this is, we would like to show you that we are very active in building our partnership with our international partner. We have right now already delivered what we call is special class international, and we have so many partners coming from the Australia, Europe, and also from another country. For example, there's more than 7 faculties and many study programs already have what we call is double degree program. I think this will be our strategy how to increase our global engagement by sending our students to overseas. And we got impactful impact coming from this program, because we really happy because what we call is global employee will be our target. And for example, our last month evaluation to the Australia, together with the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, we found it that most of students that go to the Australia, most of them directly got the job after he finished, he graduate from the university partner in Australia. And that's why our employability ranking will increase, because we have what we call is global employee, and right now getting increased. And this is part of our strategy how to increase the international student for special class international will be increased in the number of the quota. Thank you for the Dean. And also, this is part of our strategy to send our student to the international rather than what we call this ISMA program. Next slide. This is, I think, very important. Also, this is one of our strategy that's already launched last year. Right now, we have launched what we call is Universitas Indonesia Degree Scholarship for International Students. I think this is strategy how to attract students coming from international, from the overseas to come to our Universitas Indonesia here. And last year, we already prepared and spent the budget for 100 students coming overseas. And for this year also, we really change the strategy and make new scheme, what kind of collaboration that's already decided for the near future. Next, yeah, for example, the double degree coming from the UI grade, we really welcome the international student to study in our Universitas Indonesia, but in the first page here, we really dedicated on the master program. And for example, there is any scheme, for example, 2+2 means 2 semesters in the host university and two semesters in our university. And this kind is very flexible, and right now so many partners and in already ongoing, I mean, the strategy to be registered in this year on September. And next. Also, this is another program what we propose to our colleague coming from international partner. There is what we call is summer school, winter school, summer camp, and also entrepreneurship, socialpreneurship. That's related to what we call the Merdeka Belajar Campus Merdeka. And for example, last year we got more than 40 students coming from University of Queensland already come here, and takes for 2 weeks what we call is summer camp, something like that. So we are very welcome to all our international partners to focus discussion in terms of winter or summer school in our Universitas Indonesia. Next. And the last program that we would like also to propose, we already designed what we call Global Executive Program. I think this will be very important because we have intention, we would like to connecting the global leader, global investor, and global executive to learn everything about Indonesia. We are very strategic position and we are strategic partner. So we have so many relationships with all government, partner, and industry. So we are very welcome to global leader to participate in this global executive program. Next. And this is the idea. Participant will be coming from global executive and also investor. And also we invite our local, very, very important person coming from the executive, business owner, and also invite the rising leader and influencing people. And I mean, the prominent lecture, for example, we really focus on key policy maker in the field of village, manpower, also stock exchange, national policy, and also we really engage to all UI professors coming from the economy, law, and labor, business, accounting, finance, politics, and humanities. So I think will be more soon make concrete in near future. Next. And this is the exclusive benefit coming from the international global executive program. We insight about Indonesia in terms of economic potential, major issues, investment opportunities, impact and mitigation of business risks, and also direct access to policymaker and business entrepreneur. I think this will be very important to investors to be engaged directly to the policymaker in our governments. And next, thank you very much for the short brief. I think the committee already want us to finish, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Haris, for the informative presentation about Universitas Indonesia and international academic infos and performance. So, moving on, the second presenter. Please allow me to invite Insinyur Ahmad Syafiq, MSc PhD, Director of Career Development and Alumni Relations, Universitas Indonesia. Bapak Syafiq, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Your Honor, Secretary to the University, Bu Agustin Kusumayati, Vice Rector for Academic and Student Affairs, Prof. Haris, Vice Rector for Innovation, Research and Innovation, Bu Tami, Representative from Board of Trustee, Prof. Reddy, Head of Senate, Academic Senate of Universitas Indonesia, Prof. Nakrowi, thank you. All deans, thank you. And colleagues and partners from embassies and also from companies, and I see some managers here at the faculty level. Thank you for coming to this event. I would like to, it is actually a very heavy task for me because I only have like 10 minutes, but I have 80 slides. That's impossible task. Yeah, so I will skip most of the, problem is I could not sort which one is relevant and which one is less important than others, but let's see. We will share also all the presentation files to the participants who need the PowerPoint files. In this occasion, I would like to provide you an overview on our directorate. The directorate name is Directorate of Graduates, Career Development and Alumni Relations. And this is the structure. We have 4 deputy directors. Internship and Industrial Relations, Professor Sandra Fikawati. Deputy Director on Career Development, Ms. Sri Daryanti. Deputy Director on Alumni Database and Treasure Study, Dr. Ade Solihat. And Deputy Director on Alumni Relations, Mr. Benny Syaaf Jafar. Next. Main functions of our directorate is basically comprised of 4 components. The first is internship and industrial relations. Second is career development programs. And third, in the domain of treasure study, employer study, and alumni database updating. And the fourth component is related to alumni relation programs and endowment fund. Next. Okay, next. This is details of subdirectorate on internship and industrial relations. There are 4 programs actually, basically 4 big programs, namely internship, recruitment, job fair, and employer forum. Okay, this is some illustrations on what we are doing. And thanks God, I hope we are really going towards the end of pandemic, so we can see each other more often face to face. But we learn many things from the pandemic when we are forced to use, to optimize, to maximize the potential and benefits of information technology. So we learn and we observe that programs in online, conducted online, actually gather more participants compared to the offline. So maybe in the future we will have both modes to be conducted. Next. Okay, this is a recruitment webinar. For companies, we have so many programs that you can use and collaborate with us. We are very welcome. Okay, campus hiring, next. Okay, this is the place that you can get information on what we are doing, especially in this subdirectorate. Next. Websites. Social media. Next. Okay, and yeah, this is the career, internship, scholarship, and entrepreneurship expo. Yeah, it's a job fair. In our job fair, we tried to accommodate all possible pathways for graduates. Either they would like to go to the world of work, to career, to get scholarship to continue their study, or to build their own enterprise. So we try to accommodate them. And the number of participants, number of visitors is more than 500,000 visitors. So I think this is one of the biggest job fair in Indonesia. Yeah, we have like 66, and in the last expo we have 55 webinars. We have special career fair for Singapore, for those graduates who would like to go to Singapore to work. And as for your information, our ILUNI, our alumni associations, Singapore chapter is one of the most active in Indonesia, in the world, yeah. After US chapter, so we have 16 chapters, international chapters of alumni associations. Next. Okay, we also visited by companies or other universities who would like to share, and we are happily share our informations with them so we can learn from each other. 3 minutes, really? Okay, next. I haven't finished even one subdirectorate. Okay, this is Employer Forum, launched softly launched last year. And this is the first face-to-face gathering. Career development programs and activities, next. This is our programs, complete from, can you please go back to, yeah, no, go back. Yeah, thank you. Okay, soft skill seminars, career planning, counseling, alumni lecture, career talk, career coaching, consulting for entrepreneurial leadership, collaboration with companies on career seminar and guest lecture, collaboration with alumni association and students association. So you can choose for friends and colleagues in companies and industries, you can choose which program that you are interested in. Of course, you can follow many programs, and I think it will accommodate the needs of both of us, yeah. Next. Okay, this is structured soft skills, seminars, webinar series, career planning, yeah. Please, next. Okay. Alumni database and treasure study programs and activities, please, next. This is the alumni data collection and tracer study. Actually, by tracer study, we mean both tracer study and employer study. Employer study is targeted towards employers, so I would kindly invited you all to participate in our employer study, and your consent to become our employers in the list of employer that we are actually, it is very important for us to have you as our partners in employer study. While tracer study is targeted towards graduates, 1 year after graduation. Okay, the purpose is of course for assessing the relevance of higher educations, accreditations, and we are proud that we have increased our response rate of tracer study in UI, so it is close to 90% now of all alumni at one cohort. So the standard is actually moving up from 30% to 50%, but now we have almost 90%. This is the information from our collaboration with LinkedIn, and we have information that we have 270,000 followers, and we have data on alumni also based on LinkedIn data. So professionals is 240,000. Next, this is the spread of our alumni nationally, and next, this is the spread of our alumni globally. So we have the data and even the details of the data. Of course, the data are changing. We have alumni diasporically. They are going to, I think, more than 100 countries in the world. So anywhere you can find our alumni, don't worry. So if you need an employer in any country, if you are multinational companies, then you can find our alumni. Okay, this is the skills, top skills based on job post. Analytical skills, engineering, design, healthcare, and finance are the top 5 of skills posted in the job in of our alumni listed in LinkedIn. Next. Top fastest growing skills, process improvement, data entry, design, customer relationship management, and for our deans here in the faculties, we can also have the data specific for your discipline as well when needed, yeah. Next. Okay, top industries are employing this talent: higher education, banking, oil and energy, government administration, IT services. Next. More than 2,000 of our alumni in LinkedIn, they are in position of CEO or equal, yeah, CFO, CTO, and 38% of them coming from Faculty of Economics and Business, 22% from Faculty of Engineering, and from Social and Political Sciences, 11%, and so on. So this is based on our sample study about CO and equals level. Next. Okay, LinkedIn Learning, we have 61% active seats. Next. And okay, so learning path completion is more than 1,000 learning paths. This is most learned skills, entrepreneurship, so it is in line with what our university is going to. Yeah, so we are going to be an entrepreneurial university, and in fact, our students, they are learners they are learning about entrepreneurship, small business management, and so on. Most popular contents, we have Entrepreneurship Foundation, Business Plan, and so on. Next. Okay, we have comparison with other universities, yeah, to compare. And it can be seen that other universities, mostly those in LinkedIn, they learn about more tools. So Adobe Illustrator, Excel, graphic design, Photoshop, and so on. But our alumni There are more on concepts and practices as well, actually, entrepreneurship, small business management, Excel, planning, and so on. So we compare this, and I think it is very important information to shape our curriculum as well, so it is more relevant to the needs of the world of work. In alumni relations, we have several programs, next, including charity golf tournament. Pak Haris is a very prominent golfer, yeah, very good golfer. Yeah. Homecoming day, tennis tournament, ultra fundraising, Reksadana, Sahabat Makaram, Alumni Magazine, and graduation ceremony is also one of our tasks, one of our duty. Okay, yeah, this is some pictures. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is with alumni, and we are planning to have an alumni park, yeah, close to the lakes, so alumni can gather there, yeah, and maybe have some romantic, nostalgic memory about the university. Next. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I give back to the MC. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi semua. Thank you.
Thank you, Bapak Syafiq, for the very insightful topics about after-campus program and professional world of UI and its alumni. So, before moving on to the next presentation, we'd like to present to you the video about our program, which is UI Career, Internship, Scholarship, and Entrepreneurship. Thank you. And for companies, we are inviting you to take a part in that KISE event to better connection with our graduates or to enlarge your employee candidates and recruitment. So ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the last presentation, I'm inviting the Head of Transformation, Risk Management and Monitoring Evaluation Bureau, Dr. Visnu Juwono. For Dr. Visnu, the floor is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. distinguished guests, Professor Haris, Vice Rector for Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Agustin, Secretary to the University, Vice Rector for Research and Innovation, Dr. Nurtami, all the deans, Professor Freddy, representing the Board of Trustees, Professor Nahrawi, the head of Academic Senate for University of Indonesia, and of course from the Ministry of Workers, Pak Muhammad Yusuf. Thank you so much. So this will be the tough for me because I'll be the last speaker before the lunch. Yeah, so usually it's not a comfortable position, yeah, but I will try my best to present why QS ranking, yeah, because as you already seen from the presentation from Prof. Haris, yeah, you can see the position of University of Indonesia in various international ranking. But for my presentations, I will focus for the QS rankings because obviously this is the crucial period for QS rankings because until the end of March, there's a phase where respondent has to fill in the survey. So hopefully with this presentation, I'm hoping that all the representatives from employers, companies, and also representatives from the embassy could help us socialize the importance of filling in the practical way and filling in the QS survey, especially the employer reputation survey. So next slides. So why you already know the QS, yeah? QS is the leading global education consultancy who issues rankings, yeah, like QS World University Ranking, QS Asia University Ranking, as well as the latest one is the QS Sustainability Ranking. But of course, the prominent one is the QS World University Ranking because obviously it is used by the Ministry of Education as a part of performance indicator. As you know that Ministry of Education has these 8 performance indicators and some of it related to the performance of university in the QS rankings. Okay, next slides. So this is the new composition of the QS ranking, yeah. I'm not going to focus on other components, but this event is relevant for the employer reputations and employment outcomes. Employer reputations, which is 15% of the ranking, and employment outcomes is 5% of the ranking indicators. So I think this is a very important to the and relevant to the audience in this event. Okay, next slides. So this is the detailed definition, yeah. So employer reputation ranking taken from QS Global Employer Reputation Survey, in which we evaluate the perception of worldwide employers on which university produce the best 10% graduates. So the latest one used around 99,000 responses, yeah, in this year's analysis. So we already gather a database of employers, potential employees, peers from all over faculties, schools, and vocational program. So, and from that database, the QS will send the survey. Yeah? So we hope that some of you or most of you in the audience already received the survey, and hopefully, and we expect that you will feel it, University of Indonesia as one of the top 10 best institution in Indonesia. The other one is employment outcomes. So employment outcomes is to ensure a high level employability for their graduates, while also nurturing future leaders who go on make an impact of their respective fields. So I think on the employment outcomes, either combinations between employer rates, yeah, and alumni outcomes. Alumni outcomes, I will explain it later. Next slide. So first of all, I would like to to look at the University of Indonesia ranking position. Yeah, Prof. Haris already explained to you that University of Indonesia is the number 248. So we actually in the positive trajectory. But of course, as you know that other universities also trying to give their best, yeah, in enhancing their reputation. So I only take 3 best universities, which is UI, ITB, and UGM. Yeah, as you can see that this is a very fierce competition between these 3 institutions. So of course, we hope that as you, as important stakeholders, will help us enhance UI reputation, especially from the employer stakeholders. Next slide. But I want to see the red line, yeah, which is relevant to this audience. As you can see that actually the performance of employer reputation is increased quite significantly. So give an applause to all of you. Because of your help, we increased the employer reputation quite significantly from 51.8% to 62.4%. So we hope that we could maintain this trajectory, yeah, because this is one of the reasons that make UI in the Asian University ranking become the #1 university in Asia, in Indonesia, yeah, in Asia University ranking. So of course, give applause to us, yeah, on our achievement. Okay, next slide. So this is the distribution, yeah, of the employer reputation. As you can see, most of them are still from social science and management, yeah. So less from natural sciences, less from life science and medicines, and less from arts and humanities. So we're hoping that especially the stakeholders here from those from natural sciences, life science and medicines, and arts and humanities could help us increase this performance, yeah, because this is a very important, yeah, because we believe that actually on those three areas, we have a potential to grow, bigger potential to grow. Of course, we also want to maintain the social science management performance and engineering and technology performance. But if we can help from these 3 areas, it will, I believe that we can increase quite significantly in terms of employer reputations. Okay, next slide. So this is the employment outcomes, yeah, which is consists of the 5% of the World University QS World University ranking. So potential of achieving good career outcomes, institution and QS alumni outcomes data sets, previous academic year, and then an aggregate measures that combines employment rate with scale score on the number of influential alumni or alumni outcome data sets. So I think the data is very important, yeah, especially the alumni data. Next slides. So I think we use the data from the directorate that is led by Pak Syafiq, yeah, alumni directorate, yeah. So we already achieved a quite high score in this graduate employment rate. So of course, we want to keep that, yeah. But more importantly, next slides, is the alumni outcomes. Based on the data, actually the score is still 0. Yeah, so we're quite concerned with this, yeah, because as you know that if we look at the database, actually there's a lot of UI alumni who already achieve an international career, yeah, quite significant, like Dr. Sri Mulyani, and then Mr. Khairul Tanjung, yeah, the prominent businessman, and also a number of figures from Forbes 30 under 30. I think some of our alumni is also in that list. So we're hoping that most of you who attended here help us provide data in terms of alumni outcomes, yeah, through the Directorate for Alumni Affairs. So I think if we can get that data so we can communicate with QS, I think there's a room for improvement in terms of alumni outcomes scores. Okay, next slides. So as you can see, I want to emphasize the role of the alumni. Yeah? So UI alumni is your best ambassadors across the world, especially in Indonesia. Yeah? And also, we hope that alumni could also identify and attract potential students and serve as a mentors and career advisors. Yeah. So we recommend that alumni inform them about value their unique global employment outreach, and then develop events to cultivate their link with their alma mater. I think the employer forum is a perfect event, yeah, to this kind of alumni relations and increase the industrial engagement. Next slides. So, of course, the key takeaways from these presentations, if we want to have a communication strategy to engage with employers, yeah, to improve employer reputations, and then leveraging alumni network to become a global community acting as a brand ambassadors, yeah. And also, of course, when we engage, we have to showcase UI scientific excellence and ability to be reactive to research development. And right now, we're developing quite extensively a micro-credential program, yeah, which is led by Prof. Haris in terms of academic and students, yeah. And of course, students are the easiest way of building a relationship with employers, yeah. So showcasing what UI is doing to make students more employable and highlighting the quality of UA graduates is very important. Next slides. So this is the practical steps that we expect you to help us, yeah. So if you receive the survey from QS, especially the employer survey, yeah, of course we expect you to give a good assessment on that survey and include University of Indonesia as an educational history on LinkedIn or similar platform, yeah. So I think you already know that the LinkedIn is very important platforms in terms of showcasing and give an opportunity to increase the employer reputation. So we expect those who attend here, who is UI alumni, update their database and so we can engage digitally. And of course, the annual survey by DPKH, yeah, TRISER studies is very important. So we hope that the employers, partners can fill in that survey, because not only important for QS rankings, but also important from other rankings. Yeah. For example, the performance indicators, 8 performance indicators that is provided by the Ministry of Education. Okay, next slide. Thank you so much, everyone, for the opportunity and presenting this important journey, because we hope that by the engagement with employers through these important events, employer forums, will help us improve the reputation of University Indonesia's in the next year, especially the next year QS rankings. Thank you so much and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vishnu, for the exposure about alumni roles and UI QS rankings. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next segment is the talk show. For this, please allow me to hand over the session to the moderator. She is Triana Hadi Prawoto, SA MSc PhD. She currently serves as lecturer in Faculty of Economics and Business. She completed her bachelor's degree, majoring in marketing management in 2010, and received a master's degree in 2015. It also completed a doctorate degree in 2021 from the University of Leeds. Her research interest is digital marketing. So, please welcome Triana Hadi Prawoto, PhD.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yana, and welcome to the talk show segment of today's Employers Forum. Hopefully, we get a good, meaningful takeaways from these brilliant minds that we have from industry, government, and also university. The topic highlights the most talked about element in the higher education globally, that is ranking system, and how it is important as well for national and international employers. For that reason, I have 4 panelists to join me discussing about that. And my first guest, I would like to re-invite Mr. Ahmad Shafiq, PhD, who currently serves as the director at the Directorate of Career Development and Alumni Relations, Universitas Indonesia. He's a lecturer and also researcher, got a background in public health, nutrition, as well as higher education management. Education background from University of Queensland as well as University of Kassel in Germany. My second guest is a partner from McKinsey & Company Jakarta, who has a vast experience in financial service, digital organization, and corporate strategy. He holds a master's degree in engineering management from Duke University. And without further ado, please join us, Mr. William Bakara. The next panelist is the Managing Director for Youth Development of Talent Hub from the Indonesian Ministry of Manpower. He graduated from Universitas Indonesia and currently pursuing an MBA at the Institute of Technology Bandung. He is here to give us his perspective from government, and please welcome Mr. Ahmad Lutfi. Last but not least, inclusivity is important. So the only lady in the panelists, she is an alumni who graduated from Communication Science, Universitas Indonesia. She has been helping Indonesian tech startups to achieve product market fit and successfully made her company, Impacto, to become the only Google for Startup partner from Indonesia. She is Mrs. Zahra Damarifa Lubis. Please join us. Okay, so this is going to be a bit more relaxed in compared to all of the presentation previously. So I hope everyone is happy to talk more about today's discussion. How's everyone doing here?
Very good.
Very good. Okay, so I have mentioned previously about higher education ranking system, and I think I want to ask you first, Mr. Shafiq. Why do you think that the higher education ranking system nowadays consider employers as an important factor in evaluating it, university?
Thank you for the questions. I think the university ranking is now considered employers' view on higher education institution is very important, and it is increasingly becoming more and more important as we are moving from learning process to learning outcomes. And that's why the employers, they have a very good perspectives on how our alumni in the world of work, and also they can provide us insights about the education itself. Yeah? So this is very important for us to improve as to keep pace with the changing trend and dynamics in the world of work. And the relationship between higher education and the world of work is becoming more and more important. That's why the university ranking, they included and even they increased the percentage of alumni and employers' view on the higher education. It reflects the success of alumni in the world of work is a reflection on how successful the learning process is at the university level. Yeah? Thank you. So I think.
Okay, very understandable. And I think it's also interesting to get a perspective from the employer itself here.
Exactly.
So I would like, the first question for the employer goes to Mr. William Bakara. Does university ranking matters when employing a fresh graduate or any employee at all?
Thanks for the question. I'll just maybe give a couple of perspectives. I think one, maybe a good analogy of this is, a ranking would matters and gives you sort of a priority queue per se, right? And this gives a bit of confidence upfront for employers in ensuring that the talent that comes in are of good quality. So I think that's one perspective. But I also want to highlight a second perspective, which is beyond that, right? In terms of what would, make the employers think that he would be a good candidate, he would be a good future leader for this company. That typically goes beyond just the ranking. But in terms of behaviors and intrinsics that the talent will need to share and showcase in those discussions. So that's how it will balance out.
Yeah, but do you think that employers coming from a good or higher ranking university eventually will also show you a good indication of performance in the long term?
It's not proven, no. So that's why it helps on the initial stage, but in terms of selection, then it will come as a second priority compared to the intrinsics. There are cases actually in which people and talents that comes from low-ranking university but are able to show intrinsics and traits and behavior that is better, the employer will select for the second one rather than the first one. But it's very important on the initial filtering, screening, and the lineups. So that's more important in the first place. that's the perspective.
Give a good impressions, yeah?
Yes.
For the first look. And I want to get perspective, and amongst us, maybe Zahra is the most recent graduate. And perhaps you can take back when you were a recent graduate. How does the university ranking help your life after uni?
Okay, I think I went, after university, I immediately went into becoming an entrepreneur. And in the journey of actually building the company until what it is right now, what I learned so much is like these ranking in universities helped me in actually build my network. That's the very beginning because I think it builds a credibility towards my CV as well as a founder of a company. So in that case, it builds a sense of confidence for me as well. I think, as mentioned by Pak William previously, it builds a confidence towards graduates, and that helps me build my confidence when I have to speak with clients, when I have to speak with, I think, a lot of ministry representatives in what I do. So, I think that would be the case.
Okay, and for Mr. Ahmad Lutfi, as a leader of youth development, there must be some objectives in your own organization that you're trying to achieve. And how do you see the role of university in general in helping you reaching goals? And maybe you can talk more about how important it is to engage with university.
All right, thank you for the question. And there are so many lecturers here, Pak Ator, Pak Sabik. Okay, for the talent hub or youth development talents is actually maybe talent hub also need to create collaboration to the university all around Indonesia, not only maybe Universitas Indonesia. I think because there are so many opportunities that we looking forward in the ministry itself. A talent hub is actually part of the Ministry of Labor, and also founded in 2020, and then the ministry herself, Ibu Ida Fauzia, also gives us the license as like Capman, Keputusan Menteri, like that, 101, and then 2020 in 2021 for Talent Hub. And then Talent Hub go around Indonesia to make a socialization and also talking about the youth talents developments with the programs. The program's name is also take the inspiration from Universitas Indonesia named Talent Scouting. And then pitch battle, and also another thing that maybe we can collaborate with the university because university is kind of important thing to making the students after graduated. There are so many challenges that maybe we are not find in the school or in the university. For example, like the project management, as well as the speaker before already mentioned, like it's kind of important thing that in the university, when we are studying, we do not have that things like that. So I think that important role for the university to make a collaboration with Talent Hub is the young talent development in general. I mean, like that.
And for you, Mr. William, talking about university role, and obviously Universitas Indonesia wants to engage with a lot of organization and institution. How do you envision an ideal collaboration between McKinsey, perhaps, or a private sector company and a university?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question. Maybe we can look at it at, of course, 3 different levels, right? Of course, there's one which is very specific to operational and daily work of an employer or the university, which is getting and recruiting talent, right? I think there's one category, broad category around that. The second category is actually what typically a lot of the organization are also keen to do, which is to grow the talent within the organization. And then the third category is actually to also then, typically as an organization or a firm like McKinsey, we strive to deliver impact to the country and the nation in which we are operating about. So we can think about different collaboration across the different buckets, of course. I think in discussion today, there's a lot of discussion around the first category in terms of how do we support the graduates of the university to be matched with the career opportunities within that, and there's many different innovation, which I think is great, and we are all doing great things here. But just want to highlight also on different things in which could be open and be explored for collaboration in terms of, there are I would imagine big companies like Astra, Bank Mandiri, BNI has thousands of employees that needs to be continuously nourished and be engaged. How can we think about collaboration in that sense? Right? Third is then thinking about how, on the impact to the broader economy and the country, there are also discussion in terms of, can we do research to actually quantify the impact that this company does to the country. Those are potential collaboration, I think, and it will make the relationship would be much more holistic, because it's not just a ways for absorbing the talent of the university, but how do universities enable and help the employers to even improve their values in their core activities.
Yeah, so first and foremost, as a talent pool, but more than that, there's always a better or bigger opportunity in the continuous training internally, but also continuous impact for the external or community in general. A very interesting point of view, and I want to circle back to Pak Syafiq. What are then the strategy from Universitas Indonesia to build a better relationship with both national and multinational employer?
Thank you. But first, I would like to respond a bit to what Pak William or Pak William Bakara. There is an observation, and it is recorded in several studies, showing that in terms of reputations, university reputation plays a greater roles, especially among US and Asian universities, but not in European universities, and there is a long history and explanation on why, but I think our study show that at the individual level of recruitment, of course, there is an individual characteristic that is more important, but somehow reputation of the university is also playing a part. We don't know how big, it depends on many factors. But there is, I don't know also whether the trends is moving or shifting, since the ranking system is becoming more and more important in few of universities. And so I think it is a very important dynamics that we need to really take care about on whether university ranking is useful or providing benefits rather than just a rank. But the substance of education is, I think, reflected in how the graduates in the world of work. And I think that's why we are here. So to answer your questions, to further continue the conversation is, we try to we are actually Universitas Indonesia, we pioneered some of the programs which is adapted nationally now. For example, treasure study at the university level, career expo, it is now being adapted everywhere in Indonesia. I think we are the pioneer of that. And, but of course, in the future, we would like to create a more intense relationship. I think I catch the message from you, William Bakara, and that's what we are going to engage employers more in our education system is very important, and that's why we are here at the Employer Forum. Thank you, and we also collaborate with McKinsey later on, especially regarding the talent pool. We know that the situation is shifting. For example, we can see that our data shows that more and more students, regardless their background or disciplines, are more interested in self-enterprise and entrepreneurship, and that's why I think it is a very right moment for our university to have a vision on entrepreneurial university. I think it's about time. So we also have some other innovations, especially with the structure. We really put concern on how competence, special competence, or what's so-called soft skills, is being embedded in our curriculum, whether as a hidden part of the curriculum or an extracurricular activities. So that's why we have soft skills in a more structured and systematic way. Hopefully, and we also try to incorporate results of our tracer study and employer study. So that's why your input from employer side is very important for us to help us shape what kind of talent that we are going to produce. Yeah, so I think it is very important for us to shape the soft skills program, not just randomly kick the bush, yeah, but we have better evidence on how we create these soft skills competencies to be developed among our students. So yeah, I think that's all. We can talk more, but maybe later, yeah.
During the networking branch, we can talk more, yeah. Pak Shafiq has explained the great length of universities' attempt in ensuring higher quality of graduates, all of the soft skills as well. But as you mentioned, students or graduates, they did not always end up working for an organization. UI also envisioned themselves as a university to promote more entrepreneur. And we have here Zahra here with us as well, as an example that not all of the graduates end up working for a company, but instead developing and making a company on her own. And I'm very curious to talk more about your journey as an entrepreneur and developing a startup. And what do you think amongst all of the university qualities that relevant towards your career in developing your business?
Okay, I think there are two answers to this. First would be, I learned a lot about practical and applied research in this university. I learned a lot about how to build a program with research and evidence-based programs. So I think the way that we build programs to support startups in Indonesia, especially our early stage startups, would be through a very evidence-based and pain point-based approach. And I learned a lot about how to do this applied research from my lecturers in the university. So I think that would be first. And second would be the openness of the university towards extracurricular activities, as mentioned. I joined a lot of student organizations, a lot of semi-professional students organization in the campus, and actually it builds a lot on the soft skill mentioned before, a lot of in the collaboration aspect of my work later on when I build this company. And I think those two really built the way that I lead my team in the company as well. So yeah, so the research-based approach and also the approach in the student organization level.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that you actually came from communication science, yeah? And then you end up in that pie where the CEO came from, which mostly came from the business school or Faculty of Business and Economics. That's the adaptability.
That's the adaptability, yeah.
But that's also why then university perhaps focus more on the soft skill, because the hard skill and technical skill might be, or maybe soft skill is the more transferable skills compared to others. And this is also what I'm curious about, because a lot of people talk about the link and match, how maybe art students should go to the art company, how accounting should be an auditor and something like that. It's like a very old school perspective perhaps, but this isn't few. There's so many examples that people end up working for a company, organization, definitely different than what they're trained for. And I think Mr. Ahmad Lutfi also came from Indonesian literature, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, and end up developing a talent. So maybe not something completely different than what you trained for. Then I want to ask you, if you look at this combination of skills and the phenomenon where perhaps graduates end up working in a completely different industry, do you think that this phenomenon hinted a problem, or is it actually something that it's completely normal, and maybe you can talk about more skills needed out there?
I actually never been thinking before that I will join the part of the government, and also like you know, like Indonesian literature. Maybe you will make storytelling or whatever like that. But I think with my mentor also, Pak Ator, that also coming here, that encouraged me to has more entrepreneurial skills. So I joined like DIIB, was make the programs entrepreneur for UI students, that I also joined with Pak Ator, and then we continue the early stage idea startups, maybe not early stage, maybe just idea startup. And then from that situation, I learned a lot of things, like how to manage the team, and also how to make a planning, and also projects, how to make a deal with the partners. And also after that, I came to ministry, because maybe ministry like asked to my team that to improve the IT management in the ministry, and then the works is very well. And then during the ministry running, and then maybe you can make like some organization or communities for talent development. So that's kind of a new challenge coming in 2020. And then I will start the new challenge in the Ministry of Labor, and then we try to make the programs better, because my first career internship actually coming from CDC UI. I was become a committee for UI Career Expo, also my mentor Pak Syafiq. So I think like it's like I don't know, like the situation that I'm coming from Indonesian literature, and then the experience during I looking for the team, and then I create the team, and also after that meet the ministry, and also maybe the minister itself talking about your team is great in project management, and then they can trust my team to running the talent development program around Indonesia. And then maybe very interesting to make a collaboration with Pak Syafiq again, come back to the university again, and then maybe can make a bigger collaboration further.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much.
I heard also that you prepared a presentation because we're going to talk about emerging skills. Pak Syafiq talks about soft skills, and we also actually mentioned about how skills are now transferable, but also there are perhaps certain skills that is now needed by employers, or maybe from the graduates itself, that they want to self-develop themselves, and this becoming what we call as an emerging skill. So if you can talk a lot about that, that would be great.
Yeah, actually since 2021, I ran to a lot of cities around Indonesia, Semarang, Yogyakarta, trying to create the research data that coming from the human resource development in every companies. I found that maybe several things that the young talents, for especially millennials and Gen Z, need to be aware is actually like about the attitude, like that, and also the things that like like soft skill is kind of a more important rather than the technical skills. So the employer in many of companies in around the cities is typically different. When you find like in Bali, the employer in Bali is like maybe for the tourism, and the turnover of the employee is very high, and then they try to find a way how to make the employee still in the company. So it's really hard their effort to make it. So I think there are a lot of challenges that we also have to learn one by one from around the cities, like that. Because, for example, in Jogja is maybe the attitude is good, but like the work ethics, like maybe coming to the companies really late, like that. It's typically the employee in Jogja. So we need to we need to see the capture of the employee in many cities, because it's actually different types of employee. For example, Medan is a very enthusiast employee, but I don't know the performance like Jakarta is maybe the high performance, but the most highlight is maybe in a attitude, like that. Millennials and Gen Z is still on that problems, like that. So there are so many things that we need to improve for the young talents development, for especially. So I think like soft skill is maybe for the employer forum like this will more important to talk, important to give the something to the young talents, like that, because it's typically different the generation, like that. So I think it's kind of important thing. The 4 parts that we also learn is skill gaps in local labor market. We talk about link and match before, Pak. So in the ministry itself, like also Pusat Pasar Kerja, Pak Yusuf already come in here. Pak Yusuf make Pasar Kerja is about last year to 2022. And then the challenge is actually the ministry is actually have not the settled data for employee, like that. I think like maybe we asked to how many people or employee that right now need to work, like that, and then how many companies that right now open the vacancies, and then it's really good the programs that are coming from Pak Safik. So that's why I already mentioned before that we need to make a collaboration with the university, because there are a lot of substance that maybe the ministry itself is miss, like that. So the skill
I think
gaps,
there's also like the next slide, maybe. Sorry, because it's interesting to see what are actually the emerging skills itself, right? Right. So this is the thing.
Right. Yeah. It's also the most important. We highlighted from the World Economic Forum, like the critical thinking, analysis, problem solving, self-management is the most important thing that we also have the employee have to has the quality or the capacity of it. and then analytical thinking of innovation and also complex problem solving it will be the value
demand.
of the employee. That's kind of important thing that maybe all the employees is miss like that. So I think this kind of important thing that we have to learn more or dig more to, and then we also make some learning forum like this more to around Indonesia to give this things to young
The
talents
future
development.
employees,
Something like that.
Pak William, do you also did you observe if there's any missing talents or missing skills that usually you see from fresh graduate? So what are the missing qualities that you would expect to see?
Maybe missing is I wouldn't characterize this as missing, but I mean, if I'm just reflecting sort of at McKinsey, we like to pride ourselves as the leadership factory for the country and the places in which we operate. And one of the key indicators that we look is, the alumni of the firm, are they going into leadership positions or not, right? And if you just then instill sort of key characteristic of what we think are future leaders, because we hire analysts not because they would be able to do analyst work. We hire analysts because we believe they will become a future leader in Indonesia or in anywhere they work in future. Right? So typically these are the three traits, right? One is curiosity. Is that person curious in the task that he gets assigned to? So not just a matter of giving tasks, completing it work, and sending it to the supervisor, but rather being very curious on what is it that is actually being solved, and are there something missing on the assignment that he has not think through. So that's one. Second is typically the trait of solving problem, not identifying problem, or not amplifying problem. Yes, there are problems everywhere in the world, but are you able to come with perspective and ideas on how to solve them rather than identifying them? That's the second part that really differentiate typically what's a good leader versus not. And the last is just resiliency, because we all know that, look, we live in a very rapidly changing world. I mean, I look back at when I graduated, there was not much things on AI and ChatGPT and all this technology, right? And we will never know it, but will you be able to be resilient enough to actually try and adapt as you go, right? So these are typically the three traits that we are looking on the people that join McKinsey, and these are the type of profiles that get celebrated a lot.
Okay, so more insight, Pak Syafiq, for your future programs. And Zahra, maybe you can give a little bit of insights as well. When you were the recent graduates, is there any skills that you wish you could have had before?
I wish I could have had. This is interesting. Okay, a skill that I wish I could have had would be actually networking, because I'm actually I was always behind the books. I do a lot of organization, but I didn't do a lot of networking. So the first time that I built this company, I learned that the hard way that I have to do a lot of networking. I think that's the very main skill that I wish I had learned during my university years. But I think other than that, like what mentioned by Pak William about resilience, about problem solving, I think I have learned that a lot in the university and in the classes that I've gone through. So I think the main answer for me is networking, yeah.
So more networking, Pak
More
Syafiq,
networking.
for students. So building up social skills. The last one for Pak Syafiq. Can you share how Universitas Indonesia equipped and facilitate students in creating their own business?
That's an interesting question. We try to facilitate and accommodate at all stages of entrepreneurship. So since the idea, since the hatching, incubating first and then hatching and supports after they like to fly. Yeah. So we have several directorates who works on this. So we are taking this seriously. Entrepreneurship. Of course, we understand our limits, yeah. So the coverage may be not really so university-wide, but we try to accommodate and facilitate all of them from all stages. So different stages is taken care by different directorates. And we try to create a conducive environment and ecosystem which is suitable more for creating flexibility and adaptability. So it's interesting that you mentioned about link and match. I once wrote that 100% match is impossible. It is impossible, just impossible. Maybe some disciplines are really related to their profession, such as medical doctors. Yeah, even Tompi now now he's practicing, yeah, not singing anymore maybe. Yeah, so it depends also on the disciplines and many other factors. We studied this, yeah, and we know that interestingly, those who are not really match the disciplines and the works horizontally match, more of them are actually more satisfied with their jobs. So once I remember in UI, there is not a trend, but I saw some students, they are wearing a t-shirt written, salah pilih jurusan. But they wear it proudly, yeah. They mean, I'm braver than you. Yeah, so I think it is very, very important thing that you have to prepare your career earlier, and I think related to resiliency of Pak William Bakara, we call it lifelong learning skills. So everyone should be a lifelong learners. Yeah, we should be ready. If you finish your university, that doesn't mean you stop learning. Maybe you learn even more some of the skills, because most soft skills, they could not be given or mastered within 1 week. Yeah. They need experiences, they need continuous improvement, and they need continuous learning. So I believe that soft skills are developed rather than just being given. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. What a great plan from Universitas Indonesia, and I hope everyone here can also support a very positive mission from UI. Let's give a round of applause. And also thank you to all the panelists. I still have a lot of questions, but I think unfortunately we have to wrap up and continue to our next agenda. It is very great to hear how every stakeholders actually believe the importance of a university and university roles in their institution, and how ranking system helps them to ensure qualities both from the university itself that otherwise difficult to observe. Finally, so we have come to the end where I have to conclude our session. Thank you very, very much to all of our panelists for the very insightful discussion this morning. And as a token of appreciation, I believe the committee has prepared some certificate which we hope Pak Syafiq to give to all of the panelists. So double duty, ya Pak. Yeah. Satu-satu, buat siapa nih? Ini buat siapa? Pak William. Okay, so now I will let Pak Syafiq, Pak William, dan Pak Ahmad Lutfi to go back to your seat. Thank you very much, but not for Zahra, because apparently, beside developing and nurturing startup business, Zahra has also another special talent. Zara is a very talented singer, and for that would like to ask you to be our musical guest and present a song for all of us in this room, okay?
All right.
All right, so thank you everyone, and it's my time to leave, and please welcome Zahra Damarifa Lubis.
Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, so I'm I think just gonna sing one song today for everybody here. Hopefully that this is a song that I really love, coming from Barbra Streisand, called "People."
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Your children need another children, and yet let in the grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you are half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the
Wow, thank you very much, Zahra Damarifa Lubis, for the very amazing and beautiful performance. Please give applause one more time. Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our program today. We'd like to thank you for your participation and contribution on this forum. And thank you very much for the inspiring insights from the speakers, and we hope the network will continue to grow. So I'm Raihana, and on behalf of the organizing committee, we are saying goodbye. Hope to see you in another event and enjoy your networking brunch in the lobby. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu. Shalom. Namo Buddhaya.
Universitas Indonesia, Universitas